comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm back gigging tonight after a couple of weeks off since I got back. Just another thing I have to throw into my day, figure that out, fucking stand up. My actual job, the thing I should be focusing on the most, but you know, fucking, it's good to take breaks. I got a lot of shit to say on stage now. I've got this hot new bit about a mole on my leg. I've got this shit about watching a magician. It's just hot, baby. I should have just become a poet. Poets have it fucking easy. You never have to worry about making it because who the fuck makes it as a poet? You only ever really perform to like 2 or 3 people, other poets. And if the general public do come to your poetry reading, it's not like they're going to be like, that sucked. They won't listen, but they don't know if it's bad poetry or not. The worst they can say is, that was fucking gay. Fuck, that poetry was gay. Poetry used to be big as well, like in the 1900s. That's where comedy's going, by the way. Comedy is going the way of poetry. I can already feel people don't give a fuck about jokes anymore. There shouldn't be any jokes. What jokes are you going to tell? You know, like that setup punchline? Like, here's a premise and here's a punchline. That feels like fucking like 1960s comedy now. It's over. The jokes are over. Comedy's evolving now. You got to go on stage. You got to bare your soul. You got to be vulnerable. You got to take risks. You got to talk about your balls, and that's it. That's new comedy. There's no jokes. There's no setups. It's just, hey, I've got a mole on my leg. That's what's what. Like, anywhere up until, like, maybe 19, let's say 50, if you said you're a poet, you would have got some puss. Hey, there's that famous French poet, Le Boyle. Oui. Now, if you tell someone you're a poet, first thing they think is they're definitely on antidepressants. This cunt's on antidepressants, 110. They definitely have a therapist, not a paid one, a government one, like one of the free ones you get. You get like 6 sessions with a 21-year-old who's just finished psychology at the fucking shittest university in Australia. That's brutal. You get a fucking first-year apprentice psychologist. You're close to suicide because you're a fucking poet. And then you have to open yourself up to a fucking 19-year-old. That's a labor shortage right there. You're getting fucking unqualified therapists straight out of fucking uni. They haven't even experienced anything in their own life and they're trying to give fucking advice. Maybe I should have become a therapist. I reckon I would have been a good fucking therapist or psychiatrist or whatever. I'm not here to figure out what's the difference. Whatever Carl Jung was, a fucking psychiatrist. That's what I reckon I would have been good at. I watched this fucking thing on Netflix last night. Stutz. It's that fat cunt Jonah. No, I shouldn't call him fat cunt. I kind of like Jonah Hill now. He's so vulnerable. He's so strong and vulnerable. But no, that Stutz and Jonah Hill did the thing. The thing is, they did a movie. So this Stutz guy was Jonah Hill's psychiatrist or therapist. And he changed Jonah Hill's life so much, Jonah Hill was like, fuck, I need to make a Netflix documentary about this cunt. And it was a very interesting documentary. But this Stutz guy has created some tools for coping with, life. Fucking life. That's the problem we all have. Life. That's the biggest problem. The only problem bigger than life is death. It's just too much of a mystery, death. If we actually knew what was beyond life, what life after death was, I suppose the Buddhists do. But if you knew you were living in a video game here, cunts would be just offing themselves just constantly. Actually, people are fucking offing themselves constantly and they don't even know what's happening at the end. Just constantly. That's how fucked life is. But yeah, Stutzy has developed some fucking tools that if you use them, they would be good. He's like, if you've got no direction, you've got no fucking purpose, you got none of that, just work on your life force. your fucking life force. And he describes your life force as a pyramid. Down the bottom of the pyramid is your body. Fucking exercise. Do exercise. Get your body strong. Get your mind strong. Brush your teeth. Fucking dab your asshole. He's like, that's like 85% of people's problems is fucking body. And then the next tier up was people. So fucking work on your relationships. Love cunts. Be nice to cunts. Probably don't call them cunts all the time. You know what I mean? Just do nice things for people. Build relationships. Whatever. And then the top is yourself. The eyeball of the fucking pyramid is yourself. I forget what he said about yourself. I think he said journal. I wasn't really paying attention because I was daydreaming about me being a therapist and how good I would have been. So a lot of it flew right past me. I'm going to have to go back and watch it so I can daydream about being a great psychiatrist again. But yeah, anyway, back to the point. Even though poets aren't respected, no one cares about them, people are actually disgusted by poets, I would still prefer to be a poet than a stand-up comedian. Poetry is underrated. Comedy is overrated. Anyway, that'll do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. Hit me up on social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you the fuck later.